Hi there, Dave Dubeau here. Welcome to this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV. What are we going to be talking about this week? Well, for our business breakthrough, we continue to talk about creating your list, building your list. Watch last week's episode if you want to find out why that's so important. For our real estate tips, we're going to be talking about the difference between foreclosure properties and pre-foreclosure properties. And for our Mindset Minute, I'm going to be talking about follow-through. Stay tuned. All right, now that you're convinced that creating a list and maintaining a list, having a list is important for your business, which it really is because the value of your business really is in the list of customers that you have, then now the question is, how do you start going about creating your list? So the first thing you should do is look for all of your past customers. You can look through receipts, you can look through invoices, you can look through files, or get somebody else in your business, even better, to do that, and start compiling a list of all the folks that have actually done business with you in the past. The more complete the information, the better. Name, first name, last name, address, mailing address, telephone number, fax number. If you have their email address, that would be ideal. Start compiling your list from people that you've already done business with. Next, you want to look at how can you entice people who are coming into your store, into your business, starting to do business with you, to give you their information willingly so that you can communicate with them. So one way to do that is, the simple way we've all seen, which is put your business card in the bowl for a draw, that sort of thing. That works all right. If you can offer them a discount in exchange for getting their information, that works very, very well as well. Use your creativity. Look at what other businesses are doing to gather people's information. You have to reward them for doing that. But it definitely makes sense because it's so much cheaper, less expensive to communicate with people who've already put up their hand and said, yes, I'm interested in your product or your service, than it is to go out and try to find new ones in the first place. So that's your business breakthrough for this week. All right, some people ask, Dave, what's the difference between a foreclosure property and a pre-foreclosure property? Very, very good question. I don't claim to be an expert in either one of those, but I am familiar with them, that's for sure. So basically, a foreclosure property is when the property has already been taken back by the bank. So that means the owner defaulted on their mortgage, didn't make their mortgage payments, and the bank went through the entire long, lengthy process of foreclosing on that property and taking it back, and now the bank owns that property. That's what a foreclosure property is. I don't like foreclosure so much because by law the bank has to try and get the highest price they can for it, and also banks don't tend to be, at least in my experience, all that flexible about the price. So it's really hard to find really smoking good deals with foreclosures from what I've seen. However, pre-foreclosures, on the other hand, are those properties where the bank has started sending the owner nasty letters threatening foreclosure. The owner has missed some payments on his mortgage, his or her mortgage, and is getting behind, and they're getting very, very desperate. They're getting very, very motivated. They're very concerned about trying to save, not only maybe their house, but their credit more than anything. So that's, if you can get into a pre-foreclosure situation, that's where you can create win-win deals with the owner, where you can possibly get properties for a good chunk under market value and help the owner out by saving their credit at the same time. So that's a big overview of the difference between a foreclosure and a pre-foreclosure. Okay, in today's Mindset Minute, I want to talk about follow through. Now, this is something that to most successful people just makes sense. To me, it's always been just kind of a part of the way that I do things. However, I see so many people falling down on the job when it comes to this. And that means you'll always hear people saying, yeah, I'll do this, or yeah, I'll do that, committing to something and then dropping the ball and not doing it. There's nothing more aggravating than that. When I first started working with Darren Weeks, proposed the joint venture that turned into the Fast Track Inner Circle and then into Canadian Profits, he was a customer. He'd been let down by so many business partners in the past that he was naturally very, very skeptical about whether I was going to do what I said I was going to do. So have to start sometimes with baby steps. And the important thing is, don't overcommit. So if you tell somebody you're going to do something, make sure you do it. Don't overpromise. It's far better to underpromise and overdeliver. just makes sense. But even in the business world, people don't seem to pay attention to this. You'll get people always over-promising and then not following through, or not coming through with what it's supposed to be, over and over and over again. So if you say you're going to do it, make sure you're going to do it. Make sure you do it, and you will. That's an easy way to stand out head and shoulders above the rest of the crowd. That's your Mindset Minute for this week. All right, and this week we've got a question that came in from Sheldon Dietz, and Sheldon was one of our real estate peak performers, so thank you very much for your question, Sheldon. He says, "Hi Dave, I really enjoyed the new format, and I hope you and Ken do real well on your new venture. I do have a topic that I would like to see you guys address a bit, and that is doing and setting up rent-to-own deals in real estate, from crunching the numbers to what happens if the tenant defaults. Thank you very much." Okay, thank you very much, Sheldon. That's a huge topic to go over in just one episode, so there's no way I can do it. However, a lot of people really are interested in the whole rent-to-own concept for real estate investing. When I spoke at the recent Fast Track Weekend event in June, had over, I think, 165 people request a copy of my upcoming book about rent-to-own real estate investing for Canadians. So it definitely is a very, very interesting topic. I'm going to be talking about that on upcoming episodes. Speaking of upcoming episodes, what's going on? Well, next week for our business breakthrough, we're going to be talking a little bit more about lists and what information to get and how to get it even more in depth. We'll start going into an rent-to-own or R2O overview for our real estate tips, and for our Mindset Minute, we're going to talk about why perfectionism sucks. So stay tuned and enjoy your summer, and I'll talk to you next week. If you're interested in promoting yourself, your business, or your real estate investing via web video, then I highly recommend that you sign up for an upcoming webinar that I'm going to be putting on, an online event with my good friend and online video expert, Charlie McDermott. So that's going to be this August the 9th. That's a Tuesday, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific. And you can click on the link below this video or visit www.canadianprofitswebinar.com to sign up right away. Thanks a lot. Talk to you next week.